What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. Today I want to talk about how I can help you become 100% self-confident with women. All right? The reason I am confident that I can make you confident with women is because this area of women, or dating, or attraction, or romance, or sex, whatever you want to call it, these areas that deal with the male and female dynamic, this has been the biggest struggle of my life, okay? Throughout my 27 years being alive, I struggled in this area the most, right? Every single area was no problem for me. When it came to like athletics, fitness, no problem. Came to business, no problem. When it came to just studying, understanding things like self-help, whatever it was I was interested in. I was good at video games. I was good at everything. But when it came to women, that was just a huge issue for me, right? For the majority of my life. And it started in middle school. It's in middle school when I really noticed it, because in middle school, that's when you really start liking girls. Like in elementary school, you have your little, you might kiss a girl on the cheek and shit like that. But in middle school is when you really start to, right, you start going through puberty and stuff like that, right? And that's when I started getting interest in girls. And ever since then, man, I did not have any, I just related to girls in such a horrible way. Like they would show some interest and I would just freeze up. I wouldn't know what to do. I remember one time a girl was like, dude, she did everything, right? Like she showed that she was interested in me. She gave me her number. She would call me. And like, I just couldn't, I had to pretend to play a character. I couldn't be myself. I was just so uncomfortable communicating with a girl that I had to pretend to be someone that I wasn't. I had to pretend that I was this tough, cool guy that was too good for girls. But in reality, I was afraid. I was afraid of, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I succeed, but then I don't know what to do when I succeed? I was just so stuck in my head when it came to girls. Later, I found out it was because of some past trauma and also my relationship with my self-expression. I just had like some insecurities and things I needed to handle, right? But I was too young to understand it. I just knew that I sucked with girls. And then, this carried on from middle school into high school. Like, I was just sucked with girls. Even when they would show interest, I would sabotage it because of my own insecurities and my inability to really just embrace the feminine energy, like embrace my masculine energy and embrace the feminine energy that the woman is sending my way. I had an issue with that. I was afraid of it. I was afraid of that male to female dynamic. And when I left high school, and I realized like, I just went through middle school and high school and I had friends, and my friends, they were getting girls, they had girlfriends, they had these, different things that happened, lost their virginity, all these things. And I was just still trying to like get a kiss. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, man, I can't be that dude. I can't be that dude that doesn't get no girls, bro. I gotta figure this shit out. And so what I did was I went on Google and, searched how to get a girlfriend, shit like that. And I found some, I believe it was like some YouTube videos on guys going out and picking up girls. And I was like, man, that's cool. I had my own car. I was self-employed. I had a little internet business at the time. So I had some time on my hands. And I was like, man, you know what, man? I'm gonna start going out there and approaching girls. Like, I'm gonna figure this shit out, man. I'm not gonna be one of those dudes that's just gonna, have a horrible dating life and have to settle with the first girl that comes his way. And no, that was not gonna be me. So I watched these videos. I started going out approaching girls. In the beginning, I remember I would go to the mall and I would just walk around for hours not approaching any girls because I was so afraid of rejection. I was so afraid of making a mistake. I was so afraid of expressing myself. And what if she doesn't like me? What if I'm not good enough? What if somebody sees me get rejected? It's just so much, just so much bullshit in my head. But one thing about me is I didn't give up. I kept going out. Even though I couldn't overcome the mental blocks, you know what I mean, the mental and emotional blocks, I just kept coming out. And then, you know, I realized, you know what, man, how about instead of me like trying to approach these girls, I'm having such a hard time doing this, why don't I like work my way up to that? You know, why don't I start small and work my way up? So what I mean by that is, instead of me going out and approaching these girls that I find so attractive that bring up this so much tension and anxiety in me, why don't I talk to, you know, some old ladies, some old men, right? Like people that I'm not attracted to. Let me just get comfortable talking to strangers. Let me get comfortable expressing myself. You know, let me get comfortable, you know, and learn how to overcome these insecurities and these limiting beliefs that I have in manageable doses that I can handle, you know, because there's too much, you know, the thought of approaching a woman I find attractive and doing that consistently, it brought up too much tension, too much anxiety, you know, too much fear. It was overwhelming. So I had to, you know, gradually build it up. So I started with old ladies, and I, you know, what was interesting is not only did I start, you know, working on my confidence, you know, expressing myself, right, working on my confidence, dealing with the possibility of being rejected or somebody ignoring me or, you know, getting embarrassed. Like, I started to have some cool conversations with different people. You know, I started to learn to enjoy talking to strangers, enjoy socializing, enjoy connecting with people, and not being so attached to the outcome. You know what I mean? I started to see things from a place of abundance. Like, man, there's 7 billion people on this planet. There's so many amazing experiences you can have just by going out socializing and meeting people. Forget about getting girls. Like, just the having the ability to express yourself authentically and go out there and you can make friends. You can create, you know, you can expand your network. There's so much that can come from this ability to cold approach, right? And so I started to see the power in it. I started to see the value in it. And so I kept doing what I was doing. You know, I gradually worked my way up, talking to old ladies, and I started talking to, you know, women that weren't so attractive. And I just kept building up consistently until I got to a point where I could walk up to women I find attractive and I could at least say hello. You know, at one point I couldn't even say hello, you know. Going up to a woman I find attractive and saying hello was like one of the most difficult things. But I kept building it up until I got to that point. And I could say hello to a woman I find attractive. Then I, you know, push it a little bit more. Let me see if I can, you know, ask her for directions. Let me see if I could compliment her. Now let me see if I can, you know, show my interest. Like tell her, hey, I think you're attractive. You know, now let me see if I can get her number. Like I just kept building it up until I got to a point where I could approach any woman in any situation, no matter how attractive she is, and I can express myself authentically, and I can lead, and I could be a grounded masculine man. And once I was able to do that, that's when I started getting results. That's when I started consistently getting numbers, started getting dates. All these problems that I was having in middle school and high school started to vanish because what did I do? I started building my confidence in this area of my life by consistently applying myself and gradually building that confidence. And there's so many, it's like you develop this powerful inner game, right? Because when you do this, your insecurities are going to come up. These girls, when you approach women, they will reflect you. You will see your insecurities. You will see your weaknesses. You'll see where you need to improve. Past trauma will come up. You know, things that happened that you didn't even know that were blocking your communication will start to come up. And I didn't resist these things. You know, I came to terms with them. I came to terms with my past trauma. You know, I learned how to overcome my limiting beliefs. I started to see that my limiting beliefs were all bullshit. I started to see that there was no limits, that the potential in any area of life, including my dating life, was so great. It was so high. I could truly get attractive women. I could get beautiful women. I could date them. I could have any experience I want if I'm willing to apply myself consistently. Like I started to internalize this, and that's when my confidence went through the roof, and I finally was able to handle my dating life. You know, I was finally able to get, you know, consistently get dates, consistently get relationships, whatever I wanted dating life-wise. I developed this confidence that was necessary to do that. And the skills, you know, you develop social skills, you develop social intelligence. You become more grounded and masculine. You know, you become more of a leader. You start to give less fucks. You know, you start to detach yourself from the outcome and start to see things from a place of abundance. And you gain so much power and control. And you start to become a creator. You know, you're no longer just hoping for shit to happen. You're no longer relying on luck. You start creating results. You start creating the condition that you want in your dating life. And so why am I confident that I can make you confident? Because I went through the process. I went through the trial and error. Years. I went through the pain. I went through the good. I went through the bad. I know a process. I've created a process that any man can follow to build self-confidence with women, to learn how to go out and approach women and get the exact results you want in your dating life, right? I went through the whole process. I learned the importance of being grounded in your masculinity, the importance of being able to express yourself authentically, the importance of being able to lead, the importance of owning your sexuality, the importance of making yourself attractive, like in as many areas as you can, you know, becoming a sexy archetype, right? I learned the importance of body language, of all these things that I needed to learn. I learned it through this process of being on one side of the spectrum, you know, being horrible with girls, and then getting to a point where I'll have like tremendous confidence with women, you know, and I'm able to create relationships and get the results that I want in my dating life. So now the only thing left to do is to share this insight, to share what I've been able to achieve and help other men who are interested in handling their dating life and becoming self-confident with women. All right. So if you're one of those men, I invite you to join the Unbreakable Beast Tribe, where, you know, I have a content in there that's going to help you become self-confident with women. And if you're someone who is ready to just handle this part of your life, like 100%, you want to work together, you want to go through this process, I've broken out a process where you can gradually build it up the same way I did it, just in a shorter period of time. We can do it in 8 weeks. It took me years to build up my confidence with women because I was trying to figure this shit out. You know, how do I overcome these limiting beliefs and stuff? But if we're working together, I'll be able to guide you. I'll be able to give you feedback. I'll be able to direct you through this path and support you. And you'll be able to do what took me years, you can do it in months. Okay? So if you're interested, join the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. I'll drop a link to the group in the comment section, and I'll see you inside. Peace.